are back.
Black Dynamite.
Dynamite.
I'm still here.
What?
Who was that?
I'm just living in your basement.
I thought that was Scott Pierce on my right instead of to my left.
I was so confused.
We got so excited during the break. We were talking about our favorite movie, Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite. I really think we should show it in February.
Boom goes the dynamite.
January.
January.
I
Kick
really
off the
think.
Black History Month.
January.
I like it.
But what's the pairing?
Yeah, Black Dynamite and
I was
Tang.
thinking I'm going to
Pootie
get
Tang.
you, sucker.
Well, that's also a good
I like
That
Pootie
is-
Tang. I think
but
Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang.
Driving
gonna
Miss Daisy.
Because I have that. I own that.
God.
Really.
How about the help?
I'm gonna get
like
you
the
sucker.
help.
I'm gonna get you sucker. Does have that great bit where he's talking to his mama and those gangsters come in to mess him up, and it very obviously cuts to a Mexican dude in a waitress outfit doing all of his stunts.
Or the pimp with the goldfish shoes?
That was Huggy Bear. Yeah.
Night of Living
And Antonio
Pimps.
Vargas. Also, Hollywood Shuffle by Robert Townsend.
That's not bad.
We could just do a whole film festival, 7 movies.
Maybe you could find some episodes of Step and Fetch It. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
No.
What?
Amos and Andy.
No,
We're just going to show Roots.
What about Brother from Another Planet?
Roots.
Oh, I own
You
that
guys
movie,
are coming
actually.
on Sunday, and you will be there till Tuesday.
You'll feel educated.
All right. Let's
You'll
see.
wonder what happened to Jordy's visor.
Oh no!
Your name is
no,
Jordy.
No,
Wait a
no, no,
minute.
no, 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 no. If we could get the rights to it and find a copy, we should show "Song of the South" with Pootie Tang.
Oh, no.
God. Ew.
How come you can't see the movie, but you can ride the ride?
because I can answer that because the ride is 75% less racist.
But only white people write it.
no, and you know what? Seriously, when I get off that ride, I don't hate black people. I hate rabbits and skunks and squirrels.
No.
I hate they got me wet.
And Jimmy, you're incorrect. Black people have to ride the back of the ride.
Ooh.
Jesus. Sir.
He's insulted
But
women.
you know what?
and
At
bodies.
Disneyland, that's a privilege because the back is the best part.
It
Right?
is.
Yeah.
It is.
And you don't get as wet.
All right.
It's the back of the ride's always the best ride.
Oh boy.
Wink, 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 nudge, Scott Pierce.
The back is
To think we used to hate each other.
Wink. Fart.
Okay.
Let's get this.
Hey,
Let's get this show back on
let's
track.
class it up. Let's take it over to PBS.
It is the holiday season, after all.
All right, let's take it to PBS. Jersey Shore.
That's on PBS now?
This show is made possible by a grant from
Now, these are the guys who made Jersey Shore.
Oh, and I thank them every day.
They want to do a show like Jersey Shore, except with geeks.
So we'll be like
So-
that at all.
So we'll just give them our tapes.
Exactly. Let's just give them our stuff.
So no, there will be no sex.
So I got to start wearing short shorts
I
again.
was going to say, I don't honestly believe that it'll happen because, not with real geeks, because in order to do this show, they're going to want to have extremely good looking people who have sex a lot.
Oh, they can follow me
No.
around.
Oh, no.
Jimmy raised his hand for those of you listening to the podcast.
Well-
Jimmy raised his hand.
Scott Pierce, my contention is there would be plenty of sex with real geeks in there. It would just be
I was going to say no.
singular sex.
Nobody wants to
It's
watch
easier-
that.
This is my date, Pamela Henderson.
Instead of a smush room, there'd be a jerk room.
It is a lot easier to light a jerk off scene.
God. Taking the ultraviolet light in there.
Ugh. Here's
There's
what
just dirty socks laying all over the floor.
It's just white everywhere.
Somebody. There's just Dayglow letter.
Looks like someone exploded.
The floor is slithering.
Looks like someone exploded an Elmer's glue bomb in there.
Oh,
I think a sock manufacturer should sponsor this show immediately.
my Wonder Woman cosplay mag came.
I'll be in the sock room.
I'll be in the soccer room.
Oh shit! I cut my foot on that sock.
I can't afford my subscription to Cosplay Deviants.
Well, here's
So,
the
so would the annoying be Saki?
probably. Here's the casting call that they sent out. All right.
Not casting. Call.
Yeah,
They're not coming out of their basement.
This is what they said. If you're a guy or girl and get all the references in The Big Bang Theory, can quote the original trilogy, can spot a Cylon among us, Wish you could have attended Hogwarts, Starfleet Academy, or Xavier School for the Gifted. Join the Horde and revere masters of science fiction and fantasy. We want you.
That sentence was a mess.
Yeah.
I really want to apply.
Let's do it, you guys.
Why not?
You're
Should all
too
apply.
old. You're too old.
No,
I
Hey,
bet there's-
fuck
isn't
you.
there-
I'll just scare.
Well-
I could scare everybody out of that casting call if they showed up.
I'm still in my 20s.
Yeah, me too.
But you're married.
Yeah.
That it makes a difference.
How much-
MTV.
How much do you like cat?
Very much so.
Oh well, then you probably
You don't want
won't.
to do it.
Yeah.
We're
But
looking.
wait a minute. If I'm going to go jerk off in a room by myself, I'm just fine.
We're looking for those who value brains over brawns, substance over status quo, and march to the beat of their own cantina band.
Also known as
Wait, still
I
be
still
married?
think
To be
because they're going to find
Yes, I
the
can
6
too,
really,
all
the
the time.
12 really good looking
Oh,
geeks
yeah.
in the world.
For sure.
You may live on an insignificant planet of a humdrum star lost in a galaxy tucked away in some forgotten corner of the universe. Oh, I'm going to stop right
But,
there.
but no. By the way, the name of that planet is Kolob.
No, you could it with our friend Lola Binkard. Would be
There you go.
Tony.
good. Yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
Tony,
Could,
I
go
mean,
get
he's got a lady friend, but you know what?
Sorry, lady. He's gonna go show.
Oh, wow.
Stop it. You're vulgar.
I am vulgar. I'm sorry.
How old are you,
adult.
Tony? How old are
You're
you?
gonna be the breakout star.
How old are you?
26.
Well, you have to look.
How much
now,
can you-
usually on the
how much
like on
can
the
you
Real
lift?
House. Shut up. Usually in the Real House, you just have to be able to look like you're 25 or under, and you could do that.
Right. So,
But I
Let's
can't.
shave.
Scott and I are going down. 'cause
Yeah,
we
you
both
guys
pull a convincing 25.
Easy.
I
Scott
can't even
can pull
pull
off
off a convincing 50. Son of a-
I'm 22.
We're gonna send our minions.
well, it's
So,
out there if you.
I'm going to apply just for fun.
Do you want to find it? It's called Fandom Rising.
I think Tony should.
So look.
Oh, I think O.J. Smith should apply.
OJ.
Oh,
for
there you
sure.
go.
Yeah,
Oh
OJ.
boy.
No.
He could be the awkward.
He could be the one that
dude.
dances in the
Well,
background.
he's
of
the one.
cantina.
He's the one who sets the real house on fire.
Goddamn. O.J. Smith.
Yes. This is
Apply.
you.
He needs to
Apply for the show, O.J. Right
Right?
now.
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
Oh, I could.
I could.
Oh,
I
it would be
could.
the show I could not stop watching.
I want to see him on
Are they
TV.
gonna fly that girl from his ward that came down to save him from his debauchery?
Oh, Jesus.
You weren't there, were you?
Seriously?
Huh?
I was there.
Well, hold on. Let's not talk about the guy like he's not here.
Yeah,
He's
well-
listening right now.
Well,
No,
let's,
and we love OJ. We love OJ, but
let's not tell the story.
Yeah.
no, let's
I want to
on
see him
the show.
plopped in
No
the
need
middle
to
of
air
L.A.
out.
and I want to watch that.
You're gonna have to tell me off the
I just
show.
have to ask Tony one question.
What?
Do you get along with people?
Yes.
Oh, you couldn't be on an MTV
I know.
show.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Star Wars, Brian.
Dad,
I don't know about this Star Wars. Could you tell me?
Well, there's a couple of things.
can we just get over it?
First of all, the Star Wars MMO.
Oh, Star Wars, the Old
Mo?
Republic.
The Old Republic.
Well, Star Wars Galaxies actually is what I was
Oh, that
talking
one's
about.
done.
Oh, the
isn't
old
it?
one? Yeah, they pulled the plug on that.
They
Shut-
shut it down.
shut-
And when they shut it down, this was a few weeks ago.
My Twi'lek smuggler's gone.
Sony Entertainment let the players decide who would win the game and
did.
who the rulers of the galaxy were.
Did Brian win?
No,
It's Lucas. Guess
Never
what?
played it
He
once.
cashes the check.
This doesn't sound like canon. to
I didn't
me.
like the dance animations, so I stopped playing.
the Rebellion won.
Oh,
of course.
Good for them.
Man.
But it was 8 years up, and they tried to keep up with World of Warcraft every time they turned around, and they just couldn't keep it going.
That's because Sony Online Entertainment hasn't put out a compelling MMO since they were on top with EverQuest.
And EverQuest 2 is even still now kind of,
Yep.
you know, it's not fun to play.
Yep. The best they've done recently is DC Universe.
DC Universe,
And
and
it's-
even then,
and
you
yeah,
kind of
even
go.
Hey, hey, you know what? That's the game I play.
Do you actually play it?
Yeah, I do. I got a PlayStation 3. So they're
You
playing
should
it.
tell him what you're here.
His name's Mr. B.
And what does he do?
And DC
He
Universe.
looks just like me.
Uh-huh.
He's got a bald head, glasses, and a beard.
And he works at the 812.
Yeah.
Not the
And he runs
7-Eleven.
around and he punches people until he gets hurt, and then he
And-
flies straight up into the sky in heels, and then drops down and hits people.
DC Universe is a good superhero game, but Champions is a better superhero game.
Can I just say while we're on the subject, whoever Green Lantern is that just showed up out of it was like another player.
Uh-huh.
Showed up and his big green hands just me and killed me for no reason.
Tony.
Sean, don't do it
No,
again.
and, yeah, no, you're absolutely right though. Sony has struggled, and
Oh, yeah.
but we're going to see the same with World of Warcraft. I'd say within the next 6 months.
Well,
Billy,
they're-
you think they'll shut down?
No, they're not going to shut down, but they are
they-
hemorrhaging
They're
players.
they're
right
not
now.
doing so good. I just based off of how many Lee come back to Azeroth emails I've had over the last 6 weeks.
They've still got 9 to 10 million active subscribers,
But
but
that's
that's
down from 13.
like 13.
But you could be
So-
Chuck Norris now.
Isn't that
Yeah.
like more people than vote in like an election?
Yeah, yeah, it
Well,
is.
you know.
But here's the thing: Skyrim does the Warcraft thing better than Warcraft does. The only thing that Warcraft does better is the social aspect. So
Social,
the
for sure.
game, the Star Wars MMO might actually pull it off because that's
It's
I think an even
new.
bigger geek cash grab. And
Yeah.
if they do the game elements better, it'll
Why
be-
do I?
I'm sorry, I'm just
Which?
laughing at the thought of video gamers and geeks and the thought of social.
But why do I see in the future that if you could vote via your World of Warcraft,
I think people would do it.
and
No, and you laugh about this. You
Yeah.
laugh about the social aspect
but I
of
think
it, but
it could actually happen.
I used to play Warcraft with quite a few of our listeners. We'd get 10 or 12 people together, and we would have a great time. It'd be like 6
All of
of
our,
us.
all of
We
our
have that
listeners-
many listeners?
All of
Yeah.
our listeners
Well,
play.
no, that's back when we had 6.
Well, it's kind of like playing GoldenEye on the N64 back in the day, except now you have your own screen and you just do it over the internet.
I need to start playing games simply because I have no frame of reference, so I can't take the position opposite Lee.
You're going to have to get younger then.
Inconclusive.
So this new one that's coming. What is?
Star Wars, the
The
Old
Old
Republic.
Republic.
Yeah.
and it's
Hey,
up and
that
running.
sounds like
it
it's
says.
my
It's already
style.
out there.
Old.
Yeah, it's up and running.
Came
Is
out
it-
2 weeks ago.
Anyone? No.
Haven't
I'm
played
not.
it.
I enjoy the life I lead right now too much to get into it.
That's
Yeah.
what scares me.
Oh, I could play it.
Watching trailers frame by frame.
There's games.
Yes. And then he uses photo editor to turn it all into black and white.
I
Photoshop Woody Allen and Buster Crabbe into it.
I have 2 nights off a week, and I work a graveyard shift during the week, so I'm usually up all night. So this is the kind of game that would appeal to me if I didn't have something else already taking up that time. But it looks pretty.
The cinematics have been amazing.
Well, I mean, here's what it boils down to: is it's developed by BioWare, and BioWare is responsible for Mass Effect and the old Knights
Yeah.
of the Old Republic games on the
Oh,
Xbox.
they make good games.
and they
Which
make
were
phenomenal.
good.
Yeah, it's great, and they make the first one was great. The second one was developed by Obsidian, not as good, but BioWare just makes really good games.
I'm tempted to see what's going to happen though with Star Trek going free to play on January 17th, and they have spent the last 6 weeks making that game better and better and better and better.
I think they
And
should merge the games so that like a Sovereign class starship can just take out a Death Star.
Well, we actually I got to see my kid with his Defiant Borg retrofitted Defiant class take on the V'ger probes, all 7 of them.
Cool.
That was pretty badass.
Oh, no.
Borg modified V'ger ships.
I like DC Online because you only have to push 3 buttons.
Yes, Shannon is dearly hoping that on the Star Trek MMO he can be Christopher Pike and just ride around going boop, boop, boop.
I just want to see Akbar tell Shatner, "It's a toupee. It's a taupe."
So what is Star Wars Identities then, Brian? Because Lucasfilm announced a brand new interactive museum exhibit set, and they also said that they have trademarked the and bought the website StarWarsIdentities.com. You know anything about
This is the
this?
first I've heard of it.
What?
Oh.
Oh, God, stop the press!
Hey, wait! This is the first show of 2012, isn't it? The prophecy's true.
I'm sorry, Shannon. Could you just say eat more ham? Because clearly we're done.
The Mayans ran out of stone for
Eat
their
more ham,
calendar, and
fuckfaces,
Brian
we're
doesn't
done.
know
The show's
something
over.
about Star Wars.
All right, let me look into this then here. Okay, Lucasfilm announced today that Identities is a brand new interactive museum exhibit set to debut April 19th at the Montreal Science Center, focusing focusing on the pivotal developments of Anakin and Luke Skywalker. The exhibit will combine material from the Lucasfilm archives with a scientific approach. You know, how lightsabers could never work. Approach the concept of the identity to present the interactive experience for fans.
Did hear a little bit about not something I think that a lot of people are going to make some massive pilgrimage out to go see.
Besides you.
No, I have no intention.
He hates the French.
He hates Canadians. Oh,
French
no.
Canadians.
Well, yeah, they think that
No, he
ham.
doesn't. He
they
doesn't
think
at
that
all.
they think that ham is bacon.
Tan.
Jesus.
So there's that. Well, if it's okay then. So tell us about your sabbatical to the Skywalker Ranch.
Was it everything you hoped and more?
It was really interesting. I got
Please,
to go out. To
this
the,
is not his first time at the rodeo, sir.
Right.
Well, first I actually got the official tour at the Presidio, which is where ILM is housed, and they've got so much cool just on the walls everywhere. There is a massive collection of old movie posters.
They're
that
all
are
in black and
foreign
white.
editions. They're all black and white movies. Yeah, it's funny. The story they tell about that is that George Lucas is the second largest collector of these old movie posters.
After Kim Jong Il.
And there was this there's this German guy who somehow had the money to outpace George Lucas, and now he just doesn't buy anything anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kim Jong Il, I was wrong. He doesn't have the movie posters. He has the movies.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Kim Jong Il had like one of the largest
he doesn't have
collections.
You mean
He's not dead.
You mean Kim
Excuse
Jong
me,
the Second?
Kim Jong
Kim
Two.
Jong the
Kim
second.
Jong
I
Two.
don't know. It's ill. It's more fun to say
It's
that way.
two.
I don't care. I'm a
You
literate.
know who said that, right?
Kim Jong Un's got it now.
Perry?
Rick Perry actually said Kim
Yeah.
Jong the second or two.
The second.
Really?
Well,
About
no,
7 times.
Bush
Really?
said Kim Jong too. Bush said that,
Oh.
and then Perry's people, his press release put it out as
Being-
Kim Jong the second.
Being governor of Texas
Yeah.
makes you a genius.
Because
Yes, it
I'm,
does.
I'm pretty sure that pristine cut of Metropolis they found in Brazil was actually leaked by the North Korean government.
But
So what?
the tour through ILM was really, really cool. They've got all kinds of movie artifacts that you'd never.
Did you get your own pod racer?
No, I didn't get a pod racer. In fact, there really wasn't a whole lot of Star Wars stuff at the Presidio. They had like a Han in carbonite. They had a Jar Jar in carbonite. They had, they had.
God, if only that was
Did it
true.
have like a
Where
noose?
he belongs,
No,
exactly.
they had a Yoda, but most of it was. I mean, they had They had the matte painting from the end of Die Hard 2.
Matt's a good painter.
Good
They
old
had,
Matt.
He's
they
unemployed
had
now, of course.
one of the bikes from E.T. with E.T. in the basket. They
Right.
had I don't know if you guys saw it on my Facebook, or I tweeted it the picture of the Vigo the Carpathian painting.
I did see
Yeah.
that.
Nice.
They had a-
I like the speeder bike with ET in the basket on the front.
It was just they had a whole bunch of really cool stuff, and it was great to see where they actually work. And the facility's beautiful. I got to eat lunch in the cafeteria there, and I felt kind of like a stalker. Because
Today we're gonna have plaid burritos.
I felt kind of like a stalker because it was like
Burritos.
you're eating in their cafeteria, and it's like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I've watched like 4 documentaries
Hey,
with that guy in it.
Brian,
And-
could you move it along? I'm trying to get some macaroni salad.
But George wasn't at the Presidio. I don't think he really goes there at all.
There he was just hiding under.
He was at,
He was camouflaged in
It's like that
plaid.
scene in Jurassic Park. He's hiding behind a table. And
Well, he
Brian
was just standing under a table.
Now I gotta know. Back to the cafeteria. They didn't like name it a stupid name or something like that, or have food items
Yeah.
that are named after
No,
Star
no,
Wars
no, no, no.
characters.
Maybe a
was it the
band.
cantina?
Have some
The-
Jar Jar tots.
the entire facility is called the Letterman Digital Arts Center.
David Letterman?
No, not David Letterman. The Presidio. I don't know if you guys know at all.
Yes.
It used to be an old military base.
Yeah, I've seen the
And
movie.
They're actually in the old hospital, and there was a doctor named Letterman who actually built that hospital, and
who
so
performed unnecessary abortions.
In the basement.
Wait a minute, this sounds familiar.
But the cafeteria has got wall-to-wall windows looking out over the Golden Gate Bridge on one side
Oh
and
my gosh.
the
Ewoks that serve
The-
your food wear hairnets.
the World's Fair.
Yes,
Where the Exploratorium is.
Yes.
They've got
What?
a view of that.
Do they have Wonderflonium there?
No.
I see
How about,
Harrison.
how about Unobtainium at the Exploratorium?
I see Harrison Ford as the just meanest lunch lady ever.
No, they had a really nice cafeteria.
Got the earring for it.
No more gravy for you.
And
Just to have a sandwich.
And a hairnet in the shape of a fedora.
yes. And of course he's wearing his shawl.
I'm gonna take home this cheese to Callista. I'm gonna make her
right.
eat some of
And
it.
of course, Anthony
Oh,
Daniels is
that's
washing dishes in the
ridiculous.
back.
Taking food home to
All
Callista.
right. So let me ring you up. There's 2 Calrissian corn dogs.
Yeah, what did you eat? What did you eat, Brian?
Oh, those corn dogs are
Shush,
for
I want to hear this. Shush.
I want to hear this too. What'd you have?
I had a black bean tofu veggie burger.
Called the Calrissian.
It was really good.
That was not.
You were in
So,
San
so
Francisco.
do they meals with corn dogs?
Yes. They had a special supply of corn dogs next to a flannel dispenser.
He lives
That's what I was going to ask you.
he lives on
you
the
get to
recognizer
see-
in the bay.
Did you get to see the shirt dispenser?
Yes.
Where the
No.
did the paper towels come out flannel?
Did you pull off like 3? I would have been like, these home.
But the toilet paper dispensers in the bathroom are all flannel. They feel good.
Going
nice,
through,
actually.
It's very soft.
going through the museum though, it was almost a little bit like humbling to see how many different movies these ILM guys.
Wait, hold on.
And he thought the
Did
bathroom
you say you
smelled
were
bad on the
humbled?
outside.
Yes.
Oh, that must have been a weird
You know,
feeling
one of the
for you.
pieces actually, sort of breathtaking is they had the matte painting of Earth from Star Trek 4, just on the glass, on a wall, and
Was this open to the public or just?
no, you need it's a
Special
private
people.
it's a private tour. I'm sure that you could pull enough strings to get.
So
a
how
tour.
long does this tour take?
There
Maybe
for- yeah, 3 or 4 hours.
Can I have a vanilla Shatner shake, please?
Wrong guy.
For some reason,
Out of here.
I'm sorry, there's not enough Roddenberries on my granola.
I think clearly Jimmy blown his chance to be on that MTV thing.
I just want the Shatner shake. That's all I'm hungry for.
Roddenberry Crunch. Eat like the great bird of the universe. Roddenberry Crunch is the balanced part of this morning breakfast.
Next to the Galaxy class Starship granola.
Can I have a Carrie Fisher fish stick, please?
Carry fish sticks.
Sorry, we call that the Carrie Fister.
All right.
Fortified with 13 midichlorians.
So how was the ranch?
well,
Delicious on the salad.
It was. Can I have some? Can I have some?
It's a Sky Rancher.
Skywalker Ranch Light.
Rancor Ranch is what I was going with. But I like yours.
Skywalker ranch salad.
All right.
I had the chicken bacon Skywalker Ranch sandwich.
Brian, the drinking side thinks this is way more funny than the non-drinking side. Anyway,
right.
tell us about
Okay.
the ranch.
the ranch,
Shut up.
half of Skywalker Ranch is actually 2 ranches. There's Skywalker Ranch and Big Rock Ranch, and there was a fire on Skywalker Ranch. And
While you were there?
No, it was a week
very
or 2.
exciting.
It was a week or 2 before I was there, so most people had gone over to Big Rock Ranch where they do all the creative work on the cartoon. And I got to go up there.
It's a very small building.
No, I have to tell you, like,
Tool shed.
Activity.
absolutely the most amazing. Like, it's this old Japanese-looking, like 4-story building out in the middle of nowhere.
That's where they make the yub yub yogurt, right?
And
The Wookiee waffle.
it's situated over this lake, and to go from building to building, you've got to cross bridges over like waterfalls and stuff. It's
Jeff and Bo.
it's just a really, you can just feel creativity in that place.
Did you have time you were there?
You did, didn't you?
Totally.
It's okay to admit.
These are the Jar Jar jam jars.
Jar Jar jelly.
But it was really weird driving. It's a long drive from San Francisco to go up there because it's
So creative.
it's way out of the way.
It takes 13 hours by Tauntaun.
Yes.
It's way out
There's
of the
all
way.
those security checkpoints.
And it's just
These are not the droids you're looking for.
it's just a really beautiful place.
I'd like to go there.
I'd
Would you like
I'd
to get
go.
a job there?
I'd go.
Of
Of course, you'd love to have a
I
job
work
there.
right next to Harrison. It'd be great.
So
Right?
I'd like to go on Asian Wednesdays.
and the last place I got to go though was Rancho Obi-Wan, which is Steve Sansweet's.
What? Rancho Obi-Wan?
That sounds like a salad special.
It's Steve. I don't know if you guys know who Steve Sansweet is, but he was the head of fan relations at Lucasfilm for a long time.
Squeak?
He turned
Sans
being
sweet.
He turned being a collector nerd into a really good job.
He has
cottage
the
industry.
world's largest collection of just everything Star Wars.
Except for that one German guy.
And he turned it into a nonprofit and built a museum in an old chicken ranch a little bit further north.
Sounds sanitary.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he's the guy that wrote the Ultimate Star Wars Collector's Guide back.
Yeah,
then.
he also wrote that first Star Wars encyclopedia in 96-ish.
Yeah,
1896.
he's the Michael Okuda of the Star Wars world, essentially.
Who's Michael Okuda?
Star Trek, Star Trek.
Michael Okuda developed the LCARS system for the motion for the next generation.
All right, cool.
So I got an invitation to go up there, and he has a
How do you get invited? That's just what I want to know.
To Rancho Obi-Wan, you can go.
To Rancho Obi-Wan, it's actually I kind of emailed and said I'm going to be in town. I'd like to tour the facility and maybe write a story about it. So that's where that came in. They've got, because it's a nonprofit now, the purpose of the nonprofit is to inspire kids to get into science or whatever using Star Wars collecting as a jumping off point.
And the kids go, it's too
and
hard.
so they have.
That's probably that Star Wars Identities.com thing. That's probably
I think that's
something to do with it. Yeah.
Part of it. But they've got membership levels of the nonprofit. You can go in, and it's basically a private tour of this museum, hosted by Steve Sansweet, and he kind of takes you and shows you everything. It took a good. I think we were there 2 or 3 hours.
It was a 3-hour tour.
Yeah, it was a 3-hour tour.
3-hour tour.
Did it give you anything at the end?
Yes, actually.
Yoda.
I got a very lovely pen, and they had a toy chest full of random old Star Wars toys that they were
Did you
giving
just
out to
dive
all
in?
the
It's like
kids there, so they told me to bring a couple home for myself.
It's like a dentist.
Although after visiting the cafeteria, he got the Kessel runs.
But
And
actually,
on that note,
well, hold on. I've got.
quickly.
He really likes handcrafted, one-of-a-kind Star Wars stuff, and I told him about Lee and Grimley's. And now he wants to include.
Sue him horribly.
I showed him pictures. I showed him pictures of Lee's Star Wars Squidleys, and now he wants to add as many of those as he can get his hands on into the collection.
Cool.
And his
Evidence.
publicist is dying to get a Grimley's custom tauntaun.
Tauntaun.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
Life size.
We can make it happen. Out of yarn. It'll
Life
smell better on
size.
the inside.
it's a trap.
They're just collecting evidence.
This
It's a
is
trap.
like this is actually it's a museum of stuff that it was funny while we were there. He got like 3 calls from Hasbro because they're repackaging everything in the old vintage packaging.
The classic.
They have no record of it.
Really?
None whatsoever. So they call
But he
him up.
does.
They call him up and they're like, what the hell does an AdStat package look like? And he scans it and sends it to them because they have nothing.
That's
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
because it
That's-
wasn't Hasbro.
That's
at
one
the time.
thing. The most interesting thing I learned is that Lucasfilm, for as much as they seem to have all of their museum stuff put together, they have absolutely no. They have no archive of stuff they've done. ILM does, but they're a different company. Lucasfilm has nothing like that.
I don't
And-
see. I don't know if that's unusual because one of the strange things that happened to me over the years is when they made the first Dallas reunion movie. The CBS publicist asked me to proofread her release because she wasn't sure that everything in it was right.
And you are the ultimate expert.
And I knew more about it than the people at CBS. It was stupid.
He used to pretend to be
Well, it's
JR.
because you had the Dallas board game.
That's all you need to know.
I think I did.
Oh, I'm sure.
Honest to God, I had forgotten that, but I,
I am-
seriously think my
I am-
ass struck oil.
I had the Atari game.
I am positive that you had the board game, Scott.
Well, I just watched the pilot of the sequel that starts next summer,
Oh yeah.
and there's a couple things in it that I'm sitting there going, "That's wrong."
A sequel to Dallas?
What the heck
is it
is
called
Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on, say that again, Tony.
What the heck is Dallas?
Exactly.
There you go.
All right. There you go.
It was the most popular show in the world.
It's
and
what
I'm not
happens when
making
Larry
that up.
Hagman and Patrick Duffy need something to do after I Dream of Jeannie.
Wasn't
and
it?
the,
Wasn't it Shot
Dallas-
JR?
and
Biggest
Flat
episode.
Larry Hagman was actually offered like millions of dollars to give away Who Shot JR.
Wasn't
And all
it
he could
Dallas
say
and
was,
Falcon's Crest that were right
Falcon
next to each other?
Crest.
Yeah, but Falcon Crest was
No. Falcon's Crest and not landing.
What's Falcon's
There's
Crest?
no S. There's no S. It's Falcon Crest.
Falcon Crest, sorry.
Let's close this up. Give us some DVD releases. What
If
we
you
got?
want to see how the world's going to end, besides Armageddon, it's Contagion.
I'm never gonna watch
I
that
liked
movie
Contagion.
ever.
I did too.
After watching the first 20 minutes, I said, I thought of Carrie go, Purell.
Right, where's the
Yeah.
Purell? I will never watch that movie. I'm such a germaphobe.
I'll watch it.
Cameron Crowe did a documentary called Pearl Jam 20.
So good.
It's
really
on,
good.
It's on Netflix right now.
Really good.
I'm probably gonna watch it.
It was the first.
What you need to watch it for is the scene where Eddie Vedder gets interviewed by David Lynch.
So
Seriously, no.
Eddie, tell me about your band. Is it like that?
It's so Eddie. When was the time that you decided that music was a thing?
Do you like midgets?
Say it. Say who's David Lynch? I dare you.
It was. Hold on, I think I know this.
He
one.
directed
I was
Dallas.
going to say he was a director, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's still in.
He's not dead?
He's not dead yet.
But right now, everybody knows him for his music. And by the way, all of the music from Twin Peaks is available for download now. It's like 200 hours of music.
I'd like a Chewbacca churro. Ooh. Do you have those?
Followed by a Howard the Duck.
He almost
Sandwich.
directed Return of the Jedi, actually.
Yeah.
By the way,
Howard the
Turned it up.
Peking Duck.
Howard the Duck almost retired.
Shut I was gonna do my thing, the ham thing.
David Lynch.
I'm
almost.
sorry.
Anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
All
That's all I
right.
got now.
Well, the first film that Vice and I saw this past Sundance, I say past, but about 12 months ago,
Yeah.
The Guard with Brendan Gleeson.
and Don Cheadle and
And Don
an
Cheadle.
excellent wardrobe.
Really, really good movie. Check that out. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is now out.
Don't watch it. Sucks.
I think I liked it more than him, but
God,
Clearly.
it was so boring.
it's not amazing. It's presented by Guillermo del Toro, but
He does the opening.
Oh,
yeah,
Enjoy saying Guillermo.
Movie.
I love listening to that guy talk.
Guillermo Topogigio.
They sent this film to my house. I call it Seabiscuit Returns. It's I don't know how she does it with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes!
Kat watched it and said she liked it, and I said this is why we are
Soulmates.
soulmates.
Getting a divorce.
Soulmates.
We're done.
Let me
We're out.
let me save your marriage. Soulmates.
Yeah, soulmates. The Last Lions is actually a really great documentary. Based
About lions?
It is. It's based or narrated by Jeremy Irons.
Is
So-
it set in Detroit?
He
Yes.
plays an evil lion.
Yes, it is. Shark Night is now out.
Oh.
Yeah. If you
It's
Piranha 3D kind of movies.
nicely done.
No,
Nicely done.
Well, here's a
No,
good to counter.
that's my alarm that says the brisket is done.
oh,
Well, the alarm said the show just got boring.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
But to counteract that, Justified season 2 is now out.
holy. By the
So,
way,
fuck.
Yeah, which I haven't seen because the new season is season 3, right?
yeah, it starts in just a couple.
I'm probably just gonna go buy it.
Seasons.
No.
Justified season 3.
Yeah.
The reason to watch it. Not only is it a great Carla Gugino, a regular on the show.
I
this
love her.
season.
Yeah.
She is a
She makes,
dream.
she makes me all kinds
And-
of thingy.
Royal Pain
That's the
season
end of
3
the show,
volume 1.
though.
Hmm?
That's the end of the show, though.
It'll be the last season.
She's a show killer.
Is she?
Oh yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Look up her credits.
She can kill my show.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Hands killer.
Video games, please.
According to my sources, there is nothing coming out this week.
there you
So
go.
just play Skyrim.
Empty. Play Skyrim.
It doesn't matter. You're still playing Skyrim.
So what day is this going? Is this
The second.
well tomorrow on the
The
third?
third?
The worst show of the year will premiere on ABC.
What's
And
that?
then-
Oh,
Work it.
What is that?
oh my God, that's the Bosom Buddies
That's
rip
oh,
off.
my
Oh, I
yes,
saw
but,
that.
but it makes Bosom Buddies look like masterpiece classic.
What?
It's got
It
that dude
is
from Prison
seriously
Break in it.
Horrible.
Is
I
it
mean,
about two guys dressing up like girls?
to
Uh-huh.
get jobs? It's anti-woman. It's anti-brains.
It's anti-human.
It's I mean it exists in this weird parallel universe where these guys who are clearly guys in dresses fool everyone. It's just shockingly, stunningly bad.
So we should watch it.
And who are the two guys in the leads?
One of them
It's the Mexican guy from Prison Break.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. He was on Prison Break. The other one was on Big Love and had a recurring role on How I Met Your Mother.
Huh.
But it's like, I can't get a job. Oh, I'll dress as a woman and they'll hire me to sell drugs at a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
but-
that's who has those jobs. Is
Yeah, I know.
good
But
looking
it-
chicks.
Well, they wouldn't actually
Good looking.
qualify. I mean, it truly is.
That's the key.
it is.
I can't even begin to express to you how bad it is.
All right.
3 seasons in a movie.
I will. I will actually watch it.
Well, yeah, it could be.
It will probably be taking over Community's time slot.
No.
That's good. Put a bullet in it. In its aid.
Eat more Howard the Duck sauce on your ham.
Oh.